Hey guys, my nephew is out of the house at the moment, so I thought I would try to make a video kinda on more of my test results. And I'm going to try to do this without coughing. I've coughed off my mouth, I apologize. But more on my test results from the EMU. They're slowly starting to come in. It's been 7 weeks since I was discharged. And so they're finally being finalized, some of the readings. And also, some of the diagnoses that I've walked away since then, some of the stuff that I've been diagnosed with in the past has now changed. And just kind of how that went about. So, I figured I'd take this opportunity while he is not here, because if anyone saw my video about my EMU stay, you completely understand. So yeah, when I left the EMU, I had my tilt test, but I didn't have the results. All we knew was kind of what the doctor had seen on the video EEG, and, what she got from talking to the techs. But we knew that I was, like, the blood pressure dropped really bad. Because I passed out. Well, I passed out, but the tech told her that my blood pressure had bottomed out. So, I saw my cardiologist the, following week. I had my 6-month follow-up appointment from January. And, he was really, really excited. It was really funny to see him, come in dancing. And to have really good tilt test results. I was diagnosed in 2009 with POTS, or postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, with neurocardiogenic syncope. And, I mean, it's been a while, but my symptoms have gotten a lot worse. And, especially, standing and stuff. And, other symptoms have changed. There's sometimes, my heart rate's not racing. And, I'm just something's not right. And that was one of the main reasons that I decided I really needed to look for more answers. Because in my gut, I knew something wasn't right. And, the treatment that I was getting from my cardiologist at the time, where I was living, because I have moved home to help with my mom, I was really getting blown off by him, and his nurse practitioner was really fighting for me to get better answers. So now I have them, and I'm just I want to go to him and be like, ha! But I'm not, because I'm not that kind of person, although I really want to. Anyway, getting off track. So, I see my cardiologist, and, he had nothing for my EMU stay, because, like I said, it's been 7 weeks, but about 3 or 4 weeks ago is when my stuff, just started getting finalized, and the doctor finally started getting, the final reports. And, I promise I have a shirt on under this one, sorry. But, I've been talking to him the last couple of weeks a lot more, because I was supposed to get a call, the next week from him, and, I didn't. And so I got really worried, and I started contacting him, and, but, we've been more and more contact. And so, the cardiologist, all he had when I saw him was the tilt test results. And he had known what was going on when I was in the EMU, because they had contacted him several times. And he was very in tune with what was going on. And he was one of the ones that said I needed the tilt test. So they did the tilt test, and what he, got from that was that I had orthostatic hypotension. But we needed a reason for it. Was it autonomically caused? Was it endocrine caused? Was it, did I have some underlying kidney reason? Did I have, there were so many reasons. And while I was in the EMU, they wanted to have a reason of why my blood pressure was so low. And why my blood pressure was sinking. And all this. So, we had already started this. And we had already done all the testing. So he didn't have the results for this at the time. But they had done like a modified sweat test when I was in the EMU, which was kind of weird. But since I was on the video recording, like, they couldn't do, like, I guess the standardized? I don't know. I had all, like, the wires on my head and on my chest, but it was still really cool because I was in my room, so I could do, like, everything I would normally do. I could just, like, get up and walk around. And so they could see how, like, the heat affected me. But, like, at the same time, they could do a sweat test and see how I was tolerant for the heat. So it was really cool. That was one of the things they did before I even got a tilt test. And they found that I was very intolerant to the heat. They changed, like, they turned the thermostat in my room up to 95. And I think I made it to, like, 79 degrees before I started, like, really having problems. And so, like, one poor nurse was sitting in the room with me. He volunteered. He's from, like, the same area like I am in now, and he grew up here, and we had a lot in common, so, I saw him last week. He came down here with his family, and he came to check on me. It was really weird. He wanted to make sure I wasn't, like, doing weird, or doing things I wasn't supposed to. Totally was. Oh, well. But, yeah. So, like, they did stuff like that. They did a bunch of, like, kidney tests, kidney ultrasounds, blood work. They did a whole endocrine workup, blood work-wise, just to make sure, like, everything was okay, because they didn't know what was going on, and we were trying to wait for, like, it took them 2 days for me to get a tilt test. So they were like, well, while you're here, let's go ahead and do other stuff. And I got, like, MRIs and stuff like that. So, yeah. My tilt test showed, like, a significant drop in blood pressure. And that's all we had known when I was discharged. And so I got the actual numbers from my cardiologist. And, so this is how he diagnosed me with orthostatic, hypotension. As, when they had me laying down, my blood pressure was 115/70, which I have to say was the highest it was the whole time I was there. And that was only because they gave me, like, 3 liters of fluid before I even had my tilt test. Because they were, like, terrified I was going to, like, pass out on the poor, like, guy having to take me down there. So they stood me up, and within 2 minutes of me standing, my blood pressure dropped to 76/40. So I have it written down, because I can't pull it up on my computer. Or on my iPad as I'm, like, making this. So yeah. So within 2 minutes, it dropped to 76/40. And from that point, for the rest of the time, it kind of went up and stayed in, like, the 80s systolic range, 80s to low 90s systolic, and it didn't get any higher. And after, like, that, at one point, like, it would dip down to, my mom's calling me, it would dip down to, like, the 70s again, and it would go back up to the 80s, and 70s and 80s, so it would kind of do like this. And then I bottomed out to 41/20. So, like, yeah, I was unconscious. I was very unresponsive. So, yeah, definitely orthostatic hypotension, without a doubt. So, you know, after that, he was just like, I feel really bad because you failed treatment in the past. The few medicines that he was willing to give me, or that he really knew that worked, I had really bad reactions to in the past. So, I can't have them. So the neurologist has been looking into stuff. So, yeah. That's kind of exciting, but at the same time, I'm kind of really scared, because I don't know what the neurologist is thinking about. So, I'm going to make a part 2 to this video, because, yeah, it's going to be long, because now I have to talk about what the neurologist has gone to, because I've been talking to him a lot. So, it's craziness.